Hi everyone. I hope you're having a great summer or winter if you're down under. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've fallen into my garden, and over the summer we have 36 new raised beds out there that has kept me hopping, and in between I have been making journals. I've been making lots of journals. So before I get into my Raggedy here, I need to make an announcement and let you guys know that I'm going to be closing down my school on Teachable. And I've already removed the courses from selling them in my Etsy shop. So if you've bought a course and you have any materials that you want to go back and get downloaded from your courses, I'm going to probably keep the school up so people can do that through mid-September. But please do get over there and download any materials you might want that you don't already have, or if you wanted to refresh yourself on anything. It's just so expensive, and since I decided not to make any more courses and focus on making journals, there's just no point in keeping the school open any longer at this point. So it's not really an ending, it's more of a transformation of my energies. Keeping it positive. So we have Raggedy Ann. I have had this Raggedy Ann masterpiece in my head for so long. A bit over the top, I channeled my inner Wendy Thompson and layered as much lace on the cover as I could. Love this fabric. I wish I had bought yards and yards of it. This is a soft covered Raggedy Ann and Andy journal, 4 signatures, and as over the top with everything as I could, petticoats and the tabs. And there's a tea-dyed doily, coffee-dyed probably doily in the back, and it has a fabulous detachable tassel. Let me take this off and show you. It's attached to the bulldog clip. The eyelash trim is separate. I just strung it as a bookmark through towards the end of the journal. But what a fun tassel this was to make, and I left it extra long. The ginghams and the woven bric-a-brac, and then I have 2 strands of patches I made. These are some Raggedy Ann buttons I found in an Etsy shop, actually. There's a picture on the back. Fun stuff. It's been a while since I did tassels or patches. Little Raggedy Andy. And this is actually a lapel button that I crimped the back off and rustled on there. So that's fun. I'll just set this aside. And like I said, I just love, this is a very thin quilting fabric, and I wish I could find it again. It didn't even have any print on the selvage of it for me to know what designer had put it out. Some cable knit tassels here. Yeah, had fun with this is twisted embroidery thread. I'd gotten some to do Christmas whatnots many years ago, and it's the perfect yarn for her hair. These are all Raggedy images from my shop, and the cover picture is actually a full-page journal page that I printed, slightly faded and cut, and used it for the cover. And the little tag, Raggedy, is it gonna focus? Raggedy Ann and Andy tag. I cut that off of the cardboard piece that the lapel pin came on, which I also got at the same Etsy shop that I got the buttons. I don't know if she has any more. So yeah, it's so stuffed. Let's just go inside and take a look. Okay. I'm all stuffy and sneezing. We have had more pollen. It usually comes seasonally with different times throughout the year, and instead of being spring and then a little in the summer and then heavy at the fall, it's been nonstop. And I know because I've had to wash my windows like almost weekly, so I'm congested and sorry. All right, I got the faded color of blue and vanilla for white on the Sari silk ties here. So it is soft cover and it does lay flat. I'm laying the binding will go flat across the bottom. Let's see if I've got you in frame there. Okay, the inside and back, well, front and back covers are Tim Holtz paper and just some fun piping like they have on their socks. So I love this image of her being carried by the kite, and I put some flag string there to make it festive. And then I said I would never make a mini journal again. What do you got in the pocket but a little mini journal? This is a postcard that is one of the printable pages in the journal kit that you can print from my Etsy. And I put a little piece of ribbon over it because I didn't want the stitching around the edges to get caught in the paper clip. It's just a plain little journal. I lined the inside with wide Sari silk, and just a fun little book. Of course, I'm going to get this stuck now. All right, here we go. Well, I may have put a pull in that. I might have to cut a new piece to put on there. All right, page 1, my favorite page of the whole journal. Love the flower there. And in the tree with some birds. Put a blank book plate in and a fun Raggedy Andy image. Some pretty lace that I got from Neary's shop. And the charm down here is a hobby horse, and in many of the stories of Raggedy Ann and Andy, one of their toy friends was a horse. Really fun faded fabrics here. A little bit of digi stamps. Some paper doilies and the gingham. Just love that gingham. I mean, screams Raggedy Andy to me. And a little canvas and lace pocket. And then I have the Tim Holtz words, simply boy and little girl. And some stamped cut index cards. Be silly, be honest, and be kind. And there's 6 tags that are also in the digis, in the journal set in my shop. And I just backed them with some pretty cardstock. I don't know why I thought the measuring tape, I guess because it makes me think of being younger. I don't know. This was from my old stamp collection, and I knew I'd seen a stamp of Raggedy Ann, and I didn't want to separate these, so I've just folded and put the American Dolls in as an attachment. There are so many images of Raggedy Ann falling out of a tree, off a bed, off a clothesline, into soup. So I love that. And another tag. And the danglies for the middle are all Raggedy Ann and Andy images. Most of them are. Some of them are piping from a Tim Holtz paper. There's the hobby horse. And on some of the top tabs, I've put ribbons or lace. I wish I could zoom out more, but it's hard enough. If I'm having a hard time seeing this on screen, I don't want to get you out all the way to the moon. So I'll just keep moving it around. And here's a little Andy and Raggedy Ann button. This was the other part of a journal page that I had cut to use the images, and I just thought that was the cutest little part of a story. You can pause and read it, but basically when Raggedy Andy got lost at the bottom of a trunk, he ended up making friends with the mouse family that lived in it. One of those happily ever after things. Something the world needs more of. And some pretty layering on this lace and a fun button. All right, so that is the first of 4 signatures. I'll go a little quicker now. Little teddy bear stamping and some gingham on a tag. Little Raggedy Andy splayed under the blanket with his cute little feet sticking out. And here is a pretty little enamel painted daisy charm on some daisy fabric, which is on the lace. Love that fabric too. The red, white, and blues are so versatile. You can use them for France, for England, for the US, Les Mis, and Raggedy Ann. Those are the 5 big ones I've thought of. So I'm always thrilled when I can find a pretty floral pattern. Some pretty lace on the tab there. I stitched this on as a pocket, and in here I just have clipped to the side Raggedy Ann. The one thing I am just now adding to my shop is I never did mini images for Raggedy Ann, and I went back and did them too. So it's just a little accordion. Fun images. You can always, you know, cut them up and use them for another craft as well. Other embellishments, little red strawberry charm on the petticoats. Little tea-dyed library card. Ann and Andy on the dangles. And I just couldn't resist because it's such a childhood thing, the dolls and everything. I have this stamp. Call your mom. Every once in a while I drop them into my kids' packages. They get a chuckle. postcard, backed with a stamped index card, and a tea party. The huddle. Love this pinstripe faded. It's like a linen. I love the feel of it. And a pretty little flower attached onto just some fabric for a tab. Another postcard. She was so vibrant. I don't know why this picture printed. I think I was playing with my intensity on my inkjet, and I gave her some fun hair, little texture to it. Here is a little, it's another lapel pin, and it's the cover of a Raggedy Andy book. It's so dark, though, I didn't want to use it as an embellishment, but I don't know, it required too much work to enjoy. I thought it was a bit dark. It came in a set with the other ones, but I thought you might enjoy it, and I attached it right in here with some gingham and, not gingham, why do I keep calling it that? Rickrack, because I keep using the rickrack with the gingham. And some eyelash trim. And here we have a little silver teacup and saucer in honor of the tea party. See, she's falling again. She's falling into the river or the lake. Fallen into the soup. This was fun. Little extra stitching. Some fun images. Oh, a little bit of lace up here. And hugs and kisses. I'm thinking this was a pocket up here too. Oh, it is. I missed one. I'll have to go back and get an image and stick it in there. Love this navy blue. It's kind of scalloped lace. So if I can aim it just right, I can get the scallops like this on the front and in between on the back. And it's a whole thing I do before I glue it on. Do you guys do that? Or do you just let it fly? And sometimes I can wangle it that way, but when I find funny shaped stuff, I have to pre-plan it. Love that. Oh, I'm going to need my glasses to read that button. Handmade for you with love. You'd think I know that. I knew it was handmade. My little card, which I sign on the back. And the first page of Raggedy Andy. Here's another little fold out. Oh no, this was just extra images. That's right. Oh, let's go back. Well, Is it going to be too deep? Is it going to fall into that pocket? Yeah, it is. We're going to need to sew these on a tag. I'm taking one out. Here we go. I'm taking one out to make that tag. Alrighty. You just never know what you're going to find on a flip through. Another tab with a button. And another flower on some different colored gingham. Love that. It's just adorable. Oh, I knew there was a fairy in here. You know what? I got this charm out that's on the doily back here that had a fairy. And I went back through looking for something with a fairy on it and couldn't find it. And she's right there. Yay. I love it when a plan comes together. Yes, yes. And a postcard. And here's my favorite lapel pin. See if I can get it without a glare. And I just put it on a piece of denim. This is a page out of a book of how to make homemade dolls. And I could not find Raggedy Ann herself or anyone that looked just like it, but she's definitely in keeping with the spirit of things. And there's directions on the back, the beginning of the directions. Oop, silly. Right out of frame. We are drifting, aren't we? Okay. And here, this must be the other fold-out one. Yes, yes, yes. And like I said, I just took the eyelash trim, the red, white, and blue, and gave it a few twists and draped it through. It gives the illusion of the eyelash trim being in the tassel without it being in the tassel to tangle around the beads and the rickrack. Okay. Another gorgeous piece of lace from Neary's. I'll put Neary's link below to her Etsy shop. She's just gorgeous trims and appliques, just amazing. And the last page. And for the back cover, she's on the clothesline. I've got little brads holding the clothesline that I put above it, and little mini itty-bitty clothespins. Will they focus? There we go. And again, with the yarn hair, couldn't resist. So that is Raggedy Ann and Andy. And I will, when I post this video, list her in my Etsy shop. And I appreciate you joining me for this and suffering through my my broken flip through. Do remember, if you have any materials that you want to download from courses, to get over to my Teachable. And if you have any problem accessing your account, just shoot me an email or a message, and I'll get you right in. We'll get it figured out. So I will be back soon with more journals. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys have a crafty day. Bye-bye.